Okay, brace yourself because this one is wild and heartbreaking. Imagine building your dream daycare, cleaning it up, getting ready for kids, doing everything right. And then someone walks in and sets the entire place on fire just days before you are planning to open. This city right here is Conyers, Georgia. This is the city where Starr Kidz Academy is located. Someone broke into that academy, poured gasoline, lit it up, and now the community is asking why.
Overnight, firefighters and arson investigators from Rockdale County were at the Starr Kidz Academy 2 on Highway 20 in Conyers. The owner of the daycare said surveillance cameras caught someone running towards the building.
What's up, family? Welcome back to Insider Scoop Report, where we dig into the real stories that hit deep and demand our attention. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe, like, and share this video. And drop your city and state in the comments because what happened here affects parents, workers, and communities across the nation. Today, we're talking about the arson at a Georgia daycare, what the footage showed, who might be responsible, and where things stand now, and how we protect our kids in our schools. Let's get into it. So I was looking online and I found this article. This is on Fox 5 Atlanta. They did report on it. It is a news video here. You're more than welcome to come and check that out. So the school is located in Rockdale County, and according to reporters in other news outlets such as KATV and also ABC6, the investigators from Georgia Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner and Rockdale County, they're looking into the arson that was at the Starr Kidz Academy too. So there is two locations, if I'm not mistaken. The Starr Kidz Academy 2 is what they are referring this one to, and that is the one that we're speaking of today in Conyers, Georgia. So they said that the fire was reported around 10:30 p.m. One night, but when this is what makes it worse. The daycare hadn't even opened yet. The building was undergoing final preparation, and someone walked in, broke a back window or door or something like that, walked through with a red gas can, poured liquid everywhere, and lit the hallway on fire. And this wasn't the first incident, they say. There has been vandalism. Do anyone else find that odd? Like, y'all, if y'all were a parent and found out your daycare got torched before even opening, how would you feel? Would you still trust the place? Would you move your kids elsewhere immediately? So, yes, there is video. Investigators obtained surveillance footage showing this person that you see here carrying a red gas can, running toward the building. The fire marshal's office confirmed an ignitable liquid, K9, was used and detected traces of a flammable substance in multiple non-communicating origin ports, meaning that the fire likely was set intentionally in more than one spot. Now, there is currently an award for up to $10,000 that's being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever is behind this. And while no suspect had been publicly named yet, law enforcement, they are urging anyone who recognizes the individual in that video to come forward. So, how many of you feel like surveillance cameras should be mandatory in daycares inside and out? Because this footage is literally what might catch the person who did this. Let's bring this back to the community impact of all of this, especially for the families that were about to enroll at this daycare. Starr Kidz Academy 2 was already in place to open, and kids were expected there. The owner had invested renovations, time, staff, curriculum, so much. Now, smoke damage, structural damage, delays, lost time, trust broken, parents frustrated, workers hurt. The owner is devastated, y'all, and rightfully so. And for the neighborhood, when your daycare goes up in flames like this, it changes how safe you feel standing for your child in any care facility, sending your child in any care facility. If you were choosing a daycare tomorrow, would this incident make every daycare feel less safe? Or do you think you'd give all new places a chance anyway?
Her, I just feel so bad being that you're just getting ready to start. I know what that cost looks like.
And empathy here runs deep.
Okay, so not only did people in the community give their input, there have been also people around social media giving their thoughts on what they believe had taken place as well. So I read some comments really quickly. One person said, apparently no one can have a business of their own because of the petty adults who want to continue to bully people and not live on their own and not live their own lives that they feel like they have to continue to bully to feel good about themselves. I'm sorry this happened and I hope they recover from the damage. They will overcome this. I believe they will. Now that's a very thoughtful comment and that's how I feel. More than likely it was someone she knew. Oh yeah, this very, I think that is a huge possibility. That seems awfully personal. Maybe a competitor hired someone to do that to keep her from taking business from the competitor. And I thought about that too. So all of these are really good comments on this screen here. So we have someone that says, nah, he got to know the people at the daycare or something because what DF or WTF, a daycare? Yeah, if you think about it, really, out of all places, a daycare. And you know what? Any place at all, but a daycare, thankfully, the kids and the staff and nobody was in there. Dog had to pay that late pickup fee. Okay. Insurance scam, not buying this at all. Thing. That jacket has gotta be unique. He's gonna spend a lot of time in prison. Insurance fraud, I bet this business is struggling. So there are some people that are saying that or feeling like the owner knows the person and that this has to do with collecting insurance money. I didn't think about it like that. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people do come out, they automatically speculate on things. We all do. I mean, including myself, I do too. But I try not to go to the negative first. You always want to see the good out of it. And there is some good. You have someone who had a dream, a vision of building a daycare for kids, for families. Sounds like to me it was someone that wanted to help out in the community. Someone says sad, praying for her and her business. It has to be someone purposely targeting her because who would set fire to a daycare? It's so random. And this is the second. I don't know what the rest of that message was, but I do agree that is a random act and very odd to set fire to a daycare. So that's what would make people think, okay, this has to be more on a personal level, maybe someone who knows her. Then up here at the top, it says, I know an insurance fraud when I see one. All right. Wow, that's some evil-ish. He's connected to that daycare in some way. All those poor families have to scramble now to find another place for their kids. I smell insurance fraud. So a lot of people I'm saying are pointing towards insurance fraud or something personal or, someone not wanting to see the owner of this daycare thrive. And it's so sad and unfortunate. And now we also need to ask, why was this place targeted? The daycare was vandalized before, flooded, broken windows, damaged toilets. Maybe someone has a grudge or there's resentment or whatever the reason. There are so many red flags, y'all. The owner even told WSB TV that the window was broken, a metal piece was used, and then the fire was set from the hallway to the top. So the bigger question, when daycare properties show signs of repeated damage or vandalism, do owners and local authorities do enough, or do we wait for something worse to happen? For parents, if your daycare had been broken into once, would you stay or move your kids? And for owners or operators, what should you do when you see the first incident instead of waiting?
February, someone broke in just before the first attempt at a grand opening and flooded the place, delaying the opening then.
The vandalism has not stopped. They broke out all of the windows.
Now, here we go again.
This building is being targeted.
Oh my goodness, y'all, this is awful. In this case, this isn't just an arson. It touches on legal liability, insurance, licensing, and children's safety. The fire may delay licensing, inspections, enrollments. Parents may sue. Workers may face layoffs. And from a public safety view, an arson at a daycare could have meant children inside. Not yet. Yes, but what if it had been open? Imagine that disaster. I mean, it begs the question, how seriously do we treat arson threats at facilities for children? What protocols should be mandatory? Should daycare licensing include mandatory fire arson prevention reviews every year, just like schools do? Would that cost too much, or is it worth it? Let me know your thoughts. So here's how I see it, family. This isn't just about a building being burned. It's about children's safety, trust, community trauma, and a system that still allows violence aimed at places meant for our children. If someone sets your daycare on fire, they're saying, I don't care about your kids. And that's unacceptable. We have to demand more security, more accountability, more support for daycare owners who are often operating on thin margins and high stakes. Would you support policy changes that make daycare owners pay for upgraded fire systems, even if it meant slightly higher tuition? Is kids' safety worth the cost? Let me know your thoughts on that. And one thing I want to just show is that this is the daycare here. I'm looking at the Google view. It's literally on a highway. It's nothing. That building there is abandoned. Um, or I think this is an old house, but it's nothing really around it. There's a store, there's stores and shopping plazas down the road, but it's on a highway. It's nothing across from it. And so I'm like, where did the person, like, clearly they could have went to this gas station, right, and filled up the gas, filled up the jug or whatever. But this is like open. And it was at like 10:30 at night, and it's a small city. It says GA 20. Oh, so I would imagine that this is a busy highway. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I would imagine that it is a busy highway because it's a smaller town. So yeah, family. Fire intentionally set at a Georgia daycare. Footage of a suspect, community hurt, kids not even there yet. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How does this make you feel as a parent or a caretaker, caretaking household or local community member? Do you trust daycare facilities, or do you feel we need structural change? And don't forget, As I always say, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. These are the stories that sit at the heart of community safety and demand awareness. This is Inside the Scoop Report, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay alert, stay safe, and make sure the places we trust with our kids are truly safe.